Confession. I had a fling with my mother-in-law for 8 days. Honestly, I've never been able to tell anyone about this, and I want to get it off my chest. I'm posting it here because I don't really consider it a "today I messed up" content. I'll explain. Last year when the second wave of COVID was kicking up, my wife, 28 female, and I, 33 male, were living in a cozy little 2-bedroom apartment near a large city in the Northeast. We had been married for 2 years, and things were going pretty good, honestly. One day she tells me that her single mother lost her job due to layoffs, and she's really struggling financially. She asked if she could stay with us for a while, till she got back on her feet. Her mom, 48 female, is a really sweet lady, and they had a decent relationship. I was hesitant, but what would I do if it were my mom, right? So mother-in-law moves in. Honestly, it was great having her around. She cooked a lot and kept the house picked up. She would hang out with us and watch movies, but generally gave us our space too. Honestly, I thought it was going fine, but that clearly wasn't the case. A few weeks turned into 3 months, and this is where things went south. My wife and mother-in-law started bickering with each other a lot. We had stopped having sex because she was on edge all the time, and said she didn't feel comfortable having sex with her mom in the house. About this same time, she started spending a lot more time out with her friends and working longer hours, or so I thought. In reality, no surprise to anyone reading this, she was having an affair. How I found out about this was pretty awesome. A buddy had seen them out at a bar making out. He said they got into an Uber together and left, and then he sent me a picture of them kissing practically in real time. Honestly, I just broke down. Mother-in-law comes out and tries to ask what's wrong. Is everything okay? Oh my god, did something happen to Jenny? I told her Jenny was fine, and I just needed some space. When Jenny finally got home, all hell broke loose. I hadn't planned on confronting her right then, but she demanded to know what was wrong. She could tell I'd been crying. She just would not let up, so I said screw it and showed her the picture. She looked like a ghost, starts yelling that isn't her, hint, it was, and we proceeded to just drag this cat through the mud right in front of the mother-in-law. She blamed me, blamed her mom, blamed COVID. Gets into an argument with both of us. Mom takes my side. Jenny packs a bag and tells us both to go to hell. The next day she tells me she's staying with a friend for a while and she needs some space. Yeah, I'm not stupid, so I didn't ask which one. And that's what she did. We texted sporadically, and she came by to get a few things after a few days. But it was just me and mother-in-law in the house most of the time. And one night we were just sitting there watching a movie. I'm having some bourbon. She's drinking wine. I'm telling her how hard this has been. She goes to pat my leg and then just moves her hand. At this point, it's been over a month since I've had sex. I'm guessing longer for her. And it just happens. I looked up at her and she leaned in and that was it. And read it. Let me tell you, experience counts. I had never been with a woman who was so sexually confident. She knew exactly what she wanted, and it was crazy good chemistry. Despite being a little older and not my typical attraction, it was amazing. Yes, we both talked about how guilty it made us feel, but that didn't stop us from going at it like newlyweds for the next 8 days anytime I wasn't at work. Honestly, as horrible as it sounds, it was exactly the distraction I needed, something to look forward to. At first we slept in different beds just in case, but eventually I stayed in the extra bedroom with her twice. In hindsight, that was risky as hell, but I was a mess and probably didn't care as much as I should have. Now you aren't going to love this part, but 2 weeks in, Jenny calls. She wants to talk. Against my better judgment, I said okay. She fessed up to everything. I didn't. She apologized, cried, and begged. And in the end, I agreed to see a marriage counselor. She says she wanted to come back home And that's what she did. Mother-in-law moved out shortly after that and went to go live with a friend of hers in Florida, where she had gotten a job offer, actually making more money than her previous position. Jenny and I tried to make it work, but in the end, I knew that I couldn't just get past it. I still love her, but I could never trust her again. And that's no way to spend the next 50 years. It was just too much. I filed for divorce at the beginning of 2022, the hardest day of my life. And considering all the texts and pictures I had, she agreed not to contest it, and we are waiting for it to be finalized. I moved in with a buddy who was glad for the help with rent, and mother-in-law added me on Facebook last week. I'm not saying I'm going to the beach anytime soon, but I'm saying once this is all over, I'm not going to the beach.